Nedd Brockmann, welcome to Healthy-ish.
It's good to be here, Felicity.
Thanks for, listeners, we did just have an evacuation in the building
Yes.
and we hiked up 3 flights of stairs.
Yep.
I was puffing, you weren't.
No, it was good. I feel it in my glutes. Went for a big run this morning, so I was definitely feeling it.
How many Ks did you do this morning?
I got 21 out this morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at 4 o'clock, so up and about, feeling good.
Oh, just a lazy 21 Ks.
Little halfy. Yeah, no, it felt good. It's usually only 10 or 12, but felt good this morning, so
Only.
we're out. Yeah.
I love it. What does showing up mean to you?
It's a very broad statement, I think. Like, for me, the idea, like even, calling the book Showing Up and one of my sayings is just keep showing up. Like, just keep showing up. I think a lot of us, I'm the least, wise guy there is, but when I talk about it's a very simple task, is selling it to yourself that you will achieve whatever it is you want to do if you just keep showing up. And so, like, if you break it down, I think it's that so many of us, when things get hard or we pick that we're going to do something and it gets hard, there's always like that alternative. And in the world where things are quite convenient for us and things come easy, and if they don't, then we want the next thing. For me, it's like, just be a person of your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it and show up until it gets done.
Where's your mindset at? Like, when you're showing up, because often, as you're right, there's an alternative. It's much easier. It's hard to show up. Is it just that mantra that comes into your head each time?
I actually don't.
Show up.
The hardest part for me is to say I'm going to do something, because I know when I say I'm going to do it, I have to do it. And so the showing up is just the price I have to pay in order to get the thing I need to get. And so, yeah, in those times of adversity, in the times of hardship, a lot of the time for me are intentional, because I choose to do it, because I know when I get through it, it's like, oh my God, that's what it's all about. But yeah, that idea of being in it and going, how do you keep showing up when it's like, I'm in this much pain, or I've got this little sleep in the back of me, or whatever it is. It's like that price tag. It's like, the price for me to get this thing is to keep showing up through everything. And there is also the element of not giving yourself any other option than to get the one thing you said you're going to do done. That's it. It's that simple.
There is a great line in your book that I want to just read to you. I'm not sure where you were along the 4,000K, almost 4,000K journey, but you write, I can't tell you how fucked up this is. I sputter. It's so fucking hard, so fucking hard. What kept you showing up at that moment?
I was, that was actually on the Nullarbor. We're running into a 50K an hour headwind. No trees, is what the Nullarbor means. And I remember just like sitting on the back of the teardrop trailer, just like laying there, telling Mum, just being like, it is so fucking, like, what are we doing out here? No one is keeping us here. All that is keeping us here is the fact that I am who I say I am. I'm a man of my word. I will see this through. So in that moment, it's like, yeah, it's hard to take another step, and it's hard to, especially in the headwind and the no sleep and the food I've got to eat and everything I've got to do. In that moment, it's like you forget why you're out there. You do forget. You go, what is we can throw the towel in. We've raised $500,000. We've already run half a country. I've inspired however many people. But like, that's the thing, is like, that is not the job done. And so the idea of like, how do you show up in that time? It's like, well, that is what I've sold to myself, that I have to get to Bondi. And so regardless of how I feel, it's like, I know when I get to Bondi, that feeling of overcoming that really hard time on the Nullarbor, it completely outweighs it. Like the what you're feeling there, you'll regret much more if you pull the pin then. And like, I just know that through doing these things and doing them time and time again.
I mean, it comes down to, there's just no other option. And you are obviously clearly very headstrong. What about listeners who are thinking, some have kids, others have, crazy schedules, are tired, little things like even showing up for a run in the morning with a mate. Oh, I'm too tired. I can't. I mean, like, personally, I've got to play touch footy tonight and I'm exhausted. What's some advice you can give us to help us show up when all those other options look so much more satisfying?
You know what's funny? I think people overcomplicate it. I think like I was speaking to a mate of mine once, and he was like, you talk about if you want to do something like, well, whatever it is, you want to go for a run in the morning, and you, in your head, of course, when you wake up in the morning, you're going to be tired because you've just woken up. Regardless of how much sleep you've had the night before, you are still going to be tired. I can't help but feel there's always this element of like, oh, the bed's comfy. You have to prioritize what it is you want to do. And if you don't want to get up out of bed, then it's not important enough to you. So how do you sell that this thing you're trying, this run or this life of being up and getting active and actually committing to something? How do you sell that to yourself? And I think that is through what I've learned, throwing yourself intentionally in hard scenarios, uncomfortable scenarios. Because when you go through them and you choose the harder option, the road that, you know, there's two options to run home. One's longer, one's shorter. Take the longer. You hop in a shower, you see a hot tap and a cold tap, turn the cold one on. Like, choose the harder option, because when it gets to the point where, you know, your friend goes, let's go for a run, you go, I'm tired, but I've never woken up and gone, I regret that run that I went at 4 a.m. I've never done that. I've always left it and gone, I'm so glad I woke up. So it's just like prioritizing what is important. And if it is important enough to you, you will choose to do it. And like, yeah, I think it's just doing that. It's selling that to yourself.
Have you ever rolled over?
I did in my post run across the country. Yeah. I was completely rattled. My body was, and I had to allow myself to heal. But I've also built a life off showing up and being relentless at this pursuit of whatever it is I'm trying to achieve. And so me rolling over is, I always feel like I'm letting myself down, even though my body has shown up so strong for me for so long. And I've got to reward that. But yeah, right now I'm in a mode of like just pursuing like what it's all about, you know, just I'm so excited.
What's next on the horizon for you?
I've got like I've got challenges, and I always have them in the back of my head, but like I'm not there about to announce them yet. I'm still a bit off just through logistics and things, but I just want, about to get deep, but we're here for such a short amount of time. And I would hate to waste any waking moment of that. And so anything that doesn't align with, like, I don't know where I'm heading with this all. I just know that, you know, being able to write the book has been incredible, and I've started a milk company. I've inspired however many people. I've raised this sort of money. For me, the money is important. I think that's the change we'll be able to make that is one of. But the other is like, through these uncomfortable things, I just learn the most life possible. Like, I get to experience things that very few people will experience because I'm throwing myself in it. I'm not waiting for something to land in my lap. I'm going, let's go. The opportunity's here. Let's make it happen. And who knows when tomorrow, what tomorrow brings, like, who, you know, it's not granted. I just want to keep showing up and going, well, this is the door that's open, and I'm going to beat it down. I'm going to keep running at it and it might not even be running down the line, you know, it's just running's the tool for me to do this uncomfortable and give back. Yeah.
We only get one shot at life, Nedd.
100%.
Thank you for coming on Healthy-ish.
Thank you.